for my money. There is nobody, no one that'll run me. So give me a run for my money. Sipping bubbly, feeling lovely, living lovely. She's lovely. I wanna be with you.
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So in today's video we are going to be doing another prom makeup tutorial, and this one is going to be an all matte smoky eye. I know I do a lot of shimmer on my channel. I love shimmer and glitter, but you guys have been requesting over and over an all matte eye. So for this one I decided to use a Tartelette and Bloom palette. If you have this one is specific, you can create this entire eye look. If you do have the Tartelette, the first palette, you can also create this look. Just do the same technique and just use whatever colors or whatever eyeshadows you have, you can create this eye look with. Just use those colors that you have. But if you have this palette in particular, you can create this entire eye look. I also just I used wing liner using like a new liner pen. This is the Soap and Glory Super Cat Skinny Liner, and oh my gosh, you guys, I sell this so much. We're out of stock at my Walgreens because it is that amazing. It's very similar to the Kat Von D Trooper and the Stila liquid pen, but this one's a lot more liquidy and like it just glides out a lot more smooth. I don't know, personally, my opinion, I feel like it just has more juice than any of the other liquid pens that I have. But besides that, that is pretty much the look, you guys. I kept the face pretty simple, pretty neutral. I'm not doing a lot, but the focus is mainly on this matte smoky eye. I also decided to smoke out the bottom lower lash line just to add a little something extra, an extra pop. If you do go with the matte, it just kind of adds a little something that's not, you know, with the shimmers and this and the third, it just adds like an extra, like, wow, you look smoky, you look sultry, you look sexy, whatever you want to go with. So I hope you all enjoyed this video. I love you all. Leave me more suggestions down below, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Mwah. Bye!
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So we are going to start by priming our lids. I'm using my Kryolan concealer wheel as always. This is just a concealer, regular concealer I'm just using to prime my lids for shadows. Then I'm going to go into the Tarteist Tartelette palette. I'm using Rebel and Leader. Those are the two bottom shades. I mixed the two together, taking more of Rebel than I am Leader because Leader is a little bit dark. And I'm just putting that into my crease with an E20 or E40 fluffy blending brush. And then I'm going to go into Activist. Now this is the chocolate kind of mid-tone brown, and I am putting that out into the outer V. I'm mainly focusing the bulk of the shadow out into the outer V because this is going to really deepen and darken this look. And then whatever is left on my brush, I just bring it into the crease and the socket of my crease. Also, I'm using an E25 blending brush by Sigma. Then now I'm using an E15, which is a flat definer brush, and I'm taking more of that Kryolan concealer and just carving out my crease because the eyeshadows that we put on, it kind of got lost, so I really want this Flower Child eyeshadow, which is a vanilla creamy white shade. I really want the shade to stand out and be like really vibrant, so that's why I placed the concealer down. And a concealer isn't, it's flat, it's matte, so it doesn't have any shimmer or anything like that, and I want this to be an all matte smoky eye. So I'm using a wide shader brush by Sigma. Then I go back in with the previous E25 blending brush with a little bit more eyeshadow on it and just put that out into the outer corner and blend that Flower Child shade into it. So now I'm using an L'Oreal Silkissme liner in black to tightline my upper lash line. Then I'm using this Soap and Glory Super Cat Skinny Liner. This is a liner pen that I get from Walmart, and as I mentioned in the beginning, it is so juicy. Like, it just has a lot of juice in the pen, so it makes drawing on lashes really easy. And then I use my Lena lashes in the style Yonsè because I wanted them to be really flirty and really big. And for mascara, I am using my Maybelline Big Shot Mascara, which is my favorite top lash mascara. And right here, as you can see, I'm just placing it on to my lash line. I just put it on with my fingers, place it into the spot, and then I use a Ardell lash tool to press it into the lash band. So to prime my skin today, I'm using my Smashbox Photo Finish Pore Minimizing Primer, just because I don't want my pores to be large. And then for foundation, of course, I'm using none other than the CoverFx Natural Finish, Cream Total Coverage Cream Foundation in 100. And I'm using a Sigma F80 Flat Top Kabuki brush to apply this to my skin. It's just so skin-like. It's just so beautiful, you guys. I absolutely love this foundation. Like, I have no complaints about it. It covers every dark spot, every mark, everything that you need. Then for concealer, I'm using my Kat Von D Lock It Tattoo concealer. This is in the shade D35. I really like this concealer just because of the applicator. It comes to a point, so it makes getting underneath of that liner really easy, but it is a thicker concealer, so if you don't like thicker concealers, this is not going to be good for you. So I blend that out with my beauty blender, and then I press the Sacha Buttercup setting powder into the skin. So I let my nose bake, and then everywhere else I apply it with my beauty blender and just press and pounce it into the skin. This is just gonna really lock and mold that powder into the skin, as opposed to it looking really powdery and cakey as letting it bake would. So now I'm going with my MakeupGeek contouring pans. I use the shades Scandal and Deal Breaker together, and I'm using just a small powder brush. Scandal is the deep cool shade and Deal Breaker is the deep warm shade, so I just like to mix the two together. Plus Scandal's a little bit darker, so it gives like a little bit more dimension to my face. And then I use this Maybelline or L'Oreal True Match Super Blendable Blush, and this is in the shade Spiced Plum. As you can also see, I do have some excess powder on the sides of my nose. I do allow the side of my nose to bake, just so it also furthermore slims down my nose. And then after I press the powder into the skin, I go back in and contour my nose. And I always use a Sigma E39 Buff and Blend brush. It's just a really firm blending brush to apply it to my nose. So now I'm going into the Anastasia Beverly Hills Sundipped Glow Kit. This is the shade Bronze that I'm using with a fan brush from BH Cosmetics. I try not to apply too much to the sides of my forehead because there's texture there, but everywhere else I just apply it as I normally would. I also make sure to hit the tip and the bridge of my nose. So going back in with that same eyeliner by L'Oreal, I'm putting that to the lower lash line, and then I'm going to go into the shade Smokeshow, and I'm using this on another E20 or E15 flat definer brush, and I am really working this right tight underneath of the lower lash line. I want the lower lash line to be very smoky, very dramatic, but I want the top to be kind of a little bit less. So after that, I just take a little bit more of Leader and Rebel, and I just put that on the lower lash line. Just really make sure to go back and forth and smoke this out so that dark Smokeshow doesn't look too dark, you know. So now I'm using a NYX matte lip liner. This is in the shade Vintage. It's kind of more of a maroon shade. I didn't want my lips to be too brown, so I went ahead and did like the maroon liner to kind of change the color of the lip, the liquid lipstick. And for the liquid lipstick, I use a Tarteiste Lippie paint, and this is in the shade Crop Top, and it's more of like a brownie nude shade, but applying that maroon lip liner, it changed it to make it look a little bit more maroon. This lipstick, surprisingly enough, lasted all day when I went shopping. Like, we left at like 1, or I had a nail appointment at 12, and by the time I was done shopping at 7, it was still on my lips. So anyways, I hope you all enjoyed the video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. I love you all. Have a safe time at prom, and I will see you guys later. Mwah. Bye.